Hi, it's Miss S again with another read aloud for you. Today I'm reading one of my favorite books. It's called The Lion Inside, and it's about working from your heart and doing your best on everything that you do. It was written by Rachel Bright, illustrated by Tim Field. The Lion Inside. In a dry, dusty place where the sand sparkled gold stood a mighty flat rock, all craggy and old. And under that rock, in a tiny full house, lived the littlest, quietest, meekest brown mouse. There he is in his little house. He was so very tiny, so incredibly small, that nobody noticed him, ever, at all. He got stepped on and sat on, he missed out on stuff, ignored and forgotten. His mouse life was tough. There's a zebra sitting on him and an elephant stepping on him. Meanwhile, far above, on top of the rock, times were quite different. It was lion o'clock. This huge toothy creature made sure everyone saw how important he is by how loud he could roar. He was head of the pack. He was shouty and proud. He loved flexing his biceps and wowing the crowd. Yes, all were impressed by this mighty cat king. If only, thought Mouse, I could be more like that. Then, late one dark night, in his tiny mouse bed, the cleverest thought popped into his head. He leaped up in the darkness and held up a paw. I've got it, he said. What I need is a roar. I mean, what if this mouse with the weeniest squeak were a little more grrr and a little less meek? Well, he'd be still the smallest of fuzzy brown mice, but he'd make friends and join in, and life would be nice. Yes, thought the mouse, I must find out how. I will learn how to roar, and I will learn it now. But it wouldn't be easy. There was only one beast who could teach him this thing, but might make him a feast. So he's afraid that the lion might eat him if he asks him to help him with his roar. It's time to be strong. Take a chance after all. Forever was such a long time to feel small. So he made himself brave, and he thought like a winner. He set off for the top, hoping not to be dinner. It felt like the scariest thing he could do, but if you want things to change, you first have to change you. The farther he climbed, the closer he got to the stumbling lion reclining on top. Then, at last, as he stood on his tippity toes, he found himself suddenly nose to nose. Pardon me. Wake up, Mr. Lion. You've got company. Squeak, Mr. Lion. What I've come for you is squeak. Do you think you could teach me your roar? A silence befell that twinkling plain. Lion opened his eyes and puffed out his mane. Time went so slowly, it felt like a week. Then he opened his mouth and let out an eek! The lion curled up in a terrified ball. He didn't like this, not one bit at all. Don't hurry me, he whispered. Oh, try to be nice. Well, this mighty great lion was afraid of mice. Don't worry, Mouse peeped. I'm here as a friend. Let's hang out together, be pals to the end. That was a magical moment for sure, when the mouse didn't feel at all small anymore. He had found his true voice and learned to speak out. And for that, you don't need to roar or to shout. And from that day and always, the two were a pair. They both liked that rock better. Now that rock was to share. The mouse, while still little, felt big in his head. And Lion, he still roared, but with laughter instead. And yes, that day they both learned that no matter your size, we all have a mouse and a lion inside. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope that you learned a lesson about finding your lion inside when you're scared of something that seems too big or too hard for you. Always give your best, and you never know what you can do. I'll talk to you later.